Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Valorant Game Changers Asia Pacific Series FSL. My name is Jaeger, joined by Zayora. Welcome to your casters for the entirety of the day, the final day of the FSL tournament, of course, here, at the Open 3, stage number 1. And, leading up to this point, we have had quite a few very interesting games, very surprising results all across the board, and perhaps some surprising faces to see at these next stages, because of course we'll be starting the day off with Bren Victress going up against Alter Ego Celeste, who were taken down 2-0 by X10, who are currently waiting for one of these teams at the very end of the day in a best of 5. Starting things off though, we do have a best of 3. We'll be taking a look at the brackets in just a bit as well, so you guys can see how we got to this point and just the general story of how they got here as well. But Zayora, how are you feeling today?
I mean, it's pretty much exciting here at this point, Jaeger. I mean, this is also a real history making for X10 Crit specifically as they take away this series, and now they're the ones really sitting there and waiting for their opponent. Right now, it's also a shakeup that Alter Ego Celeste was able to drop down the lower brackets for the first time ever since last year. And again, another shakeup here is Bren Victress, former TC Rise from last year, and of course with a little bit of a new roster changes as well, they were able to really stand to the top here recently through opens 1, 2, and now for open 3. Pretty excited because a lot of names are already top of our leaderboards here, and later we'll also get to see how their journey has started in open 3.
So going into the games that we have coming up now, Bren Esports going up against Alter Ego Celeste. The last time we saw Alter Ego Celeste, of course, down in the lower brackets, they looked absolute fire. Well, actually, before we talk about that, just take a quick look at the general stages that we have throughout the calendar for the year. The VCT Game Changers APAC Open, of course, that's what's happening today, leading into the June 2nd and June 5 for Open 4. And then we will also be having the VCT Game Changers APAC Open Overtime, and then the last chance, one of the more intense stages that we have, and finally the end to be all for VCT Game Changers APAC Elite. That is going to be from October 1st to October 9th, and it is where all of this leads up to the biggest prize pool, the biggest teams, the best of the best. Everyone accrues points throughout the year, and here's a breakdown of the prize pool for the first act.
Definitely, this is going to be, again, this is distributed accordingly. 7 to 8 will get 150, 56 will get 300, fourth will have a 600, third 800, second 1,200, and of course the first one will get $1,500 respectively. And of course, this is not just the prize pool at stake here, but of course the bragging rights as well for basically winning a VCT Open 3. And of course, these are the respective group stages that we've had, if I'm not mistaken. Again, this is like a 2-page away, because it just went up to all of these teams. It just goes to show that there are a lot of interested female teams that joined here into our open. This actually started, if I'm not mistaken, on open 2, wherein there were like the increase or the huge number of teams just basically joined here at the APAC series. Again, it went all the way to group P, so imagine that.
Yeah, lots of teams, lots of girls getting interested in the esports world, and I don't think it's in any small part thanks to FSL, who did have a huge stage for women last year, and so of course we will have women inspired by the women that are leading the industry scene as well. So a couple of new names that have jumped into the roster, still teams that are looking for their opportunity to shine and are looking to grow still as well. And I also have to say, there's something when it comes to women's teams, the logos always look so much better than the men's teams. There's like this extra care given into their identity. But here you go, the top 8 that we had leading into what is today our final day. Alter Ego Celeste, Bren Esports Victress, Team SMG, X10 Crit Esports, Big Scythe, Aresta, Fuma, and Orangutan. We've had to say goodbye to a lot of these. All that remains, Alter Ego Celeste, Bren Esports Victress, X10 Crit Esports.
Definitely, and of course, we've seen these names not really new into our ears, but again, looking at the leaderboards here, respectively, Alter Ego Celeste is still thriving in first place, getting that 40 points, followed by Bren Esports, which is on 32, and X10 getting at that to 31 points, and of course, the others in order respectively. And again, it's really interesting to see that the top three, it's just quite expected to see that they are going to be the ones, fighting here at the finals. And of course, the grand finals, which is going to be a best of 5 for later. But right now, we're going to check out the brackets, as we have mentioned here, the journey of these three teams and how they came to be.
That's right, and so there you can see none of the teams we've had to say goodbye to. Interestingly enough, going into the game today, you have to keep in mind that last time Alter Ego played against X10, they got 2-0. They weren't looking very characteristically themselves. Bren actually managed to take one map off of X10, but X10's map pool seems to have deepened. So either way, Bren or Alter Ego going into this final best of 5, whoever it may be, they're going to be going into a team that have a lot of experience and are looking confident on a lot more maps. Bren versus Alter Ego. This, however, is a hard one to guess, because if Alter Ego aren't up to stat, if they aren't playing the way they're supposed to be playing, and they're not playing their signature style, how they played against X10, that is not going to work out against Bren Victress. That being said, if Bren Victress can keep up what they showed against X10 just yesterday, that would be probably the best possible result for Alter Ego Celeste to be taken down by Bren. So those are the general parameters for what could be a storyline here for these girls to go into this fight. So it's going to be a hard game for both of them. I think Bren and Alter Ego have a lot to prove still, but X10, they've been nearly flawless here. They've been winning 2-0s, 2-1s, all the way to the end, and it was only just the 1-2-1. So they are sitting comfortably and waiting for that final best of 5. And when in a best of 5, it can go 2 maps down, you can come back with 3 maps in return. It really benefits the team that have a deep map pool. So we'll have to see what the maps are going to be going into this next matchup and into the final matchup as well. But for these two teams, Alter Ego, for Bren, I think it's going to be an interesting fight.
Indeed. I mean, for these specific matches that we'll be having right now, I do expect that at least for our first best of 3s, it's going to be at least aligning into a 2-1. Again, you did say it, it's going to depend on the performances of both of our teams respectively, because there are some times wherein one gets to underperform and one gets to really skyrocket in towards the overall score. But before we go to the map, let's have the team roster to start it off with. We're going to have Bren Victress here first. We have Alexi, Mikasi, Shirazi, Twirly, and Zinni. This is a very interesting team because 3 of them, specifically Alexi, Mikasi, and Twirly, have the capability to really adjust to their roles, and 3 of them are mainly duelists for the team. Shirazi as well has been popping up as the controller for Bren Victress as well, getting that Viper Brimstone into play. Zinni, however, with the Sova, is also really getting those clutches at hand for her teammates as well and in their benefit. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, you do have Alter Ego Celeste, the queens, still reigning into our leaderboards right here. We have Ayumi, Iceberg, and Naren, Nabsky, and of course Oreophilia here. Again, they have been getting their synergies on point, but then sometimes there is this certain amount of inconsistency recently, especially when the fact that X10 was able to get a series from them. But then again, Ayumi and the gang also have their own varieties in how they are able to adjust to the roles depending on the map selection.
That's right. So there are a couple of options available here for both these teams. Both of them have some very characteristic star players that you can look forward to as well. I mean, when you're looking at Bren, right, you're thinking about Shirazi and Alexi doing their thing, especially those 2, just because simply these girls on duelists, they're they love the flair, they love to make big plays and love to have the kind of plays where people remember it, And then, of course, you have on the other side Ayumi, who has been very consistent, and Inari, who hasn't been as consistent, funnily enough. She has been in general, you always see those flashes of greatness from the best player in Southeast Asia, but she also isn't as consistent recently, which has been a little bit surprising, because sometimes you expect to see a big play from her where she's in the right position, she's in the right opportunity, and it doesn't work out, and then you'll see her in an impossible position and she'll pull off an ace. It's I don't know, maybe it's under the pressure that she starts to thrive. When there's less pressure, when it seems to be an easier situation, an area doesn't seem to be as diamondy as she would be under much harder pressures. So yeah, that's always something to look forward to. When it comes to an area, you've always got the potential for an amazing play, but a Yumi, always one that you can look forward to as well. Iceberg and Rayophilia, I think it depends on the map
And
as
speaking
well.
of map, right here, Jaeger, we are going to have split. First, this is going to be defender-sided Alter Ego Celeste, but it is a Bren Victress map, followed by Bind. This is a chosen map of Alter Ego Celeste, and they also will be on the defender-sided. And if ever we go to Game 3, the deciding map here is going to be Ascent. This is in defender-sided of Bren Victress. So then again, these three maps are quite small, not your usual big maps in the likes of having Ascent and or Icebox in the first two games of our play, which is quite the common ground. And this is also interesting because, again, in terms of this map selection picks, it's quite the maps that we've already seen ever since from the beginning. So the amount of mastery for both sides of their teams, I'm pretty sure that they already have it in possession.
That's right. And so they've avoided all of the big maps. They don't want to hit Haven, Icebox, or Fracture, or a Breeze either. All the maps we've been getting recently have been bigger, I must say. But yeah, completely avoiding those. Just want to go for the mid to small size maps. And so Split, that does look pretty good for Bren. They do have a high win rate on that. They seem to be a lot more confident, I'd say. And then jumping onto Bind, perhaps a little bit less confident, but a lot more confident for the side of Alter Ego, who have won a majority of their games on Bind as well. And finally, Ascent, a map which, well, it turns out it looks better for Bren as well. So this is a difficult one for Alter Ego, I think. I mean, those are just stats-wise. It doesn't show exactly what we're going to be seeing once we jump into, if we get into, the final map. But if Alter Ego cannot get this in the first 2-0, there is a higher chance that Bren Esports are going to be able to win this series out 2-1 and be going up against X10. If Alter Ego were to lose against Bren, as lose to X10 as well, it would be the first time that we don't see them get into those grand finals as well. So Alter Ego, it'd be a very interesting situation. I don't think it would spell the end for them, but I think it would facilitate a restructure almost of what they'd be doing.
It's going to be basically one for the books here, Jaeger, and of course, like we already have that certain amount of us. I mean, even us and also the viewers as well are basically conditioned that Alter Ego Celeste is to be the ones who are normally waiting in towards the grand finals, but this time with them in the lower bracket, at least lower bracket finals in here, and fighting off against Bren Victress. Basically, they're fighting for their spot. So it also makes me wonder, how are they able to handle this certain amount of expectations and or pressure here, not just for their team, but also to those who are actually, tuning in into their journey as a whole. And the fact that Alter Ego Celeste has been, having the impression that they have been in towards the top for numerous opens that we've had here. This is the first time we're actually seeing them fighting for their spot this time, so the stakes are quite high for them as well. But this also doesn't go far beyond for Bren Victress as well, considering that both Alter Ego and Bren are in the lower bracket finals. So anyone who loses here will still stay on the third place here, at least for Open 3. But regardless of the result, it's basically going to be in a history book.
That's right. In history, we love to see it be made, especially right in front of us as we're casting it as well. And so we'll see if we get a couple more of those. Because I have to say, when it comes to both Bren and Alter Ego, I think that more often than not, you are going to have a couple of highlight plays And it's normally plays that you were going to remember for quite a while at least. It's their clips are made that just look so impressive. And I think it's just because they both have a star player type team where they play around certain players that have that capacity to start popping off, so to speak. So yeah, there's definitely opportunity here for both these teams. I think pretty evenly matched going into this. And now that I've said that, probably gonna be jumping in. It's gonna be a one-sided affair just because that's how it works sometimes. Isn't it? But hopefully
Caster's
not the
curse.
case.
Yo.
Hopefully it is going to be a close competition. Hopefully we get to see them fight it out all the way to the end because they both really want to be in those grand finals going up against X10. It's a big stage, and well, those pressures. It's so rare that you get to practice in those high pressure environments, especially once we return to LAN tournaments as well. It's just going to get that much harder, and you do also get a couple of let's say standout plays as well that come from being on LAN as well, because some of the girls and some players in general play better with the crowd, and so there's also that opportunity as well. But I don't think that's going to be anytime soon. Well, hopefully we do get LAN eventually, because I think that the ladies deserve a LAN tournament.
Definitely. I mean, of course, it's been a while since we've, actually experienced having, these LAN tournaments, especially for these women as well, because normally we would see the ones on the other major tournaments, but right now, maybe someday we'll get to see that come into play. But right now, I'm pretty excited to see how Bren, Victress, and Alter Ego Cells is going to play this. I'm quite expecting, really close fights here, especially when the map arrives. But considering again the map selections that they both have their strengths and weaknesses here, and it's also possible that we actually go into the deciding map, which is Ascent, but that's going to be for later because I feel like game number one is going to try and decide to which the momentum is going to be shifted at, and the agent select as well is also going to be pretty much important here, as there is a variety as well into how our teams really take a certain map with a certain agent composition. Like example with the likes of Split, some of our teams tend to really stick to the old guns of the having double duelists and three other supporting roles of, let's say, the likes of sentinels and or controllers per se. But and then there are other cases where it's just heavily utility based, only having one duelist at play and then the others just really go ham in terms of how they use it. But then again, some amount of not just that with agent compositions, they also have to consider the timing and how well versed they are into these fights. And speaking of that, looks like we're gonna head on to Agent Select right here, Jaeger.
That's right. When it comes to the picks, people have been adjusting pretty well, I'd say, to basically how to approach this map. We have seen a lot more chamber recently. Did see Twirly hover over it for just a minute there, but doesn't look like they're going to be going for the chamber play. Instead, KO being hovered over, Raze very important to have on Split, just because a lot of tight corners that you need to clear out with a boom bot with paint shells as well. Sage can be a great pick, especially for defending in that mid position, but it doesn't look like the side of Alter Ego want to play with a Sage. They have gone instead for the Breach. They want the Initiator in hand. They want the Killjoy, and well, the difference being, the Omen for the Brimstone. They both have Razes, they both have Breaches, they don't have a KO.
Choose your agent.
That is the difference. The KO for a Sage. I mean, that's a fair trade-off, I'd say.
I mean, I feel like Alter Ego Celeste really plans to have it in a more of an aggressive play when they go in for attackers, because again, the Breach and KO are very good initiators here, especially when the timings are right. Let's say in the likes of the suppression, and it detects a lot. That's also like a cue for Iceberg to really go with that fault line here. or with that concussion, just so that they can give more space whenever they try to enter the site. Meanwhile, for the side of Bren Victress here, they're quite going in for the later game, I assume, having that Killjoy, having that Sage for Zinni. It's a bit more of a security, in my opinion here, and as well as the fact that they against Shirazi with that Brimstone has been really popping off effectively. So their post plan situations are there's this high possibility of it being secured. So I feel like there's a different take here for both sides of the team, simply because one tends to have it rushed in, or have it in a more surprised and diversion tactics, and the other one goes for a more safe and a passive approach here. But then again, it's going to be still on paper. It's going to depend on the situation per round.
So let's see, once they jump in, once we get that pistol round going, here it is. Bren Esports Victress versus Alter Ego Celeste. The final fight to get into the top 2. And only the best of the best are going to win this fight. Because, well, you want to have the best of the best winning this fight. Otherwise, what are we doing here, right? So... Already peeking in for perhaps some mid control here from the attacking side. Bren, they want to go for perhaps a split. They could go for the quick play, going through mid, up into vents, and then splitting into the A side. And, well, I think Alter Ego may be well prepared for that. They've got 3 players over in A.
Indeed. And I feel like they're going to try and create some amount of presence towards the site, and then probably get that peeker's advantage, just so that they can have more manpower, at least for the side of Celeste here. But looking at how they're positioned, KO would probably place that knife towards heaven, just to see if there's any one from Bren Victress to be suppressed. Meanwhile, the others on A side for Bren Victress here, 3 heavily stacked. I do feel like there's this certain rush, or there's certain flanking capabilities that can happen here sooner or later, but it's going to depend on how far or how much Alter Ego Celeste has entered this a specific area. But it depends here. It's going to be all on paper, but of course, ladies and gents, and all preferred orientations, we're going to start now with the first round of our first game in the lower bracket final.
So immediately going for the mid control coming in here from Bren. Out come the daggers, and they don't really find too much information except for the fact that KO is sitting in heaven, and straight up into heaven they go. And Neri already going for a flank here, just trying to push in from behind. That could be a big problem, but Alexi spots a player backing up into the site. They know there's one in sight, and they've just lost their controller. And so immediate full control, and this is a great take into the B side, but can they hold it? Because the Neri already coming into play.
Indeed, but is it going to be a double peak right here? But look at that tap, and Neri starts getting to for the team, but from underneath, Zinni takes one. But another Natsuki trade with that hard kill. Zinni is going to ensure that, but Natsuki from Hellside will be cleaning it up for the crew, leaving Alter Ego Celeste getting the first point. Seeing it right now, yeah.
You can see a bit of the problem coming in. They took so hard into the site. They had some good positions, but a lot of missed opportunities because they're not conserving that ammunition, and good utility on the re-entry into the site coming in from Alter Ego Celeste as well. And so, again, one of their strongest suits, Alter Ego, is their ability to retake.
Ability to retake, indeed, and that's also like an interesting position for Alter Ego Celeste to just quickly take mid control and to really sandwich out the members of Bren Victress from earlier. But right now we are seeing again a potential, presence for Alter Ego Celeste here. Look how I feel like a delayed push is gonna happen here, because earlier they have been, having their presence telegraphed, and now I feel like they're trying to have again that peeker's advantage. So here we do see patience game in here. That's gonna be the judge kill to start off with Neri here, taking Alexi down. That's gonna be a beautiful paranoia for Ayumi as well. And Ayumi with the Omen. This is really interesting. Usually would see a Yumi as well, you know, hand in hand with Ineri with regards to that duelist. But right now, I feel like a different approach. Celeste is really trying to do here. And again, Ineri is also known with this amazing and really impactful Raze plays. It's quite understandable why they had her here as the Raze. But look at that from behind her field, and Ayumi will be cornering out the members of Bren Victress from Garage, getting their second point.
Looking like the alter ego of old. These girls are here to play, and you're seeing as well how well they are reading these positions. They're not getting overly aggressive. They're not putting themselves in. I mean, this was one of the biggest problems. Last time we saw them play, and Neri could not stop getting overly aggressive in a lot of situations. This time, she is playing things just as casually as she can. If they know they're allowed to push, if they know where the positions are, and they've confirmed it, they will go for those kind of plays. Otherwise, they're playing things very close to the chest. And I mean, 5 rifles going into this round, half armor only for Zinni, but everyone else looking pretty confident on their utility, on their armor. But still, you're going up against these close-range weapons, and so what is Alter Ego Celeste going to do? They're going to hide in corners. They're going to put themselves in positions where that close-range advantage is there for them, because when you got these rifles up close, you lose the ability to run and gun, and so it's a great way to counter by getting into these close corners here. And misses the corner, and Neri doesn't have to move.
Ineri doesn't have to move, indeed, but we do see Alexis spotting out one Oreophilia in towards 7, so I feel like there is going to be some amount of adjustments. That's going to be 2 suppressed here as well. From the corner, Mikasi takes Ineri here, taking down her clone. Let's see how things are going to pop up here. Nice smoke coming from Shirazi, but look at this. Ayumi will be taking a trade. It's going to be another here for Shirazi in towards site, but is going to be flashed by Oreophilia. Alexi will have that refrag. Oh, they kind of did not meet each other from that smoke in towards stairs. Oh, but then again, here it goes. They meet up together. Nabsky with a sheriff kill takes Mikasi down from stairs, but it's only a 2v1 situation here. Flash, what's gonna happen? They spotted her out, but Nabsky was able to tap her down in that pixel peak, and it's all up to Alexi to secure the spawn situations for the team to potentially get their point. And take note, Nabsky very careful, spots up the gun, and will be taking that tap in the head with a 3K for their third.
Alexi, a lack of awareness just to how open you can look from that position, because when you're holding close to an angle like that, when you're holding close to a corner, if you have a wider berth to that corner, you will see around the corner before the player that's up close to it, because you're going to see the shoulder first, you're going to see the arm first, because it's just basic perspective things, isn't it? And so Alexi, not expecting such a wide peak coming in and such a distant peak as well. Nabsky, a brilliant play there, a 1 versus 3 clutch, and keeping them in the lead. 3-0 now for Alter Ego Celeste. They could upgrade. Ayumi will only have half armor going. Actually, no, already bought the armor, so she will have the full armor going into this round. And Bren, they're forced to save and sit on sheriffs.
Truly. And take note, this is the pick for Bren Victress here, but before anything else, we'll be having a technical pause just to keep things optimized for the later parts of the game. So going back into the last 3 rounds that we've had, Alter Ego Celeste has been very much aggressive despite being on the defender's side. There was a moment where I thought it was the latter, like I thought that Alter Ego Celeste was attackers here because of how they were able to really corner out the members of Bren Victress, which was supposed to be the thing that should be going on for Bren Victress here. They're the attackers side, so in terms of them planting that spike, they have it. But I feel like they're having a bit of a struggle in terms of the post-plant situations here, because the retake capabilities of Alter Ego Celeste are popping off. Navsky takes one twirly with the trade here with the sheriff. Let's see how things are gonna go from here.
This position, it can be so annoying to watch. It's because a wide swing, it goes off on an angle where you don't naturally move your mouse in that position, so it can be difficult to counter when someone goes for a wide peek from vent. But Spike not getting close enough just yet for the plan, and these positions perfect for avoiding the flashes. Mikasi straight into a headshot onto Oreophilia. Alexi will be confirming no one is close just yet. Twirly, oh, Nabsky, that one up. Iceberg will find Alexi from behind though, and so still not out of danger just yet for Bren. Shirazi getting away with 26 HP, and sprays coming down through the LED. Iceberg and Ayumi to try and retake the site.
Indeed, take note as well that Twirly and Shirazi are quite low on HP here, so the potential 2v3 clutch can happen. But Iceberg takes one, Twirly with the 3. Ayumi for the trade, fakes the defuse for audio Q. Now it's just up to whoever gets to get one down. It's actually going to be Ayumi with a quick angle to look at in towards APAC. And just like that, they were able to clutch it out.
Another disadvantage in terms of numbers, but advantage in terms of skill alone, as Alter Ego Celeste once again reminding us why they are a team to be afraid of. So much potential, so many difficult positions here, and just a couple of mistakes as well coming out from Bren, Victress, Ayumi. Cool, calm, and collected as per usual as well, but 4-0, Bren, Victress, they're not getting on the board yet.
Indeed, they haven't been getting these scores up, and it's quite interesting to see, because normally they would have had like a score at least on the previous rounds respectively, but then the amount of mispositions that we've seen is something that they have to consider here. Liking the one May smokes again that Ayumi is doing towards the team. Looking at this, Shirazi, however, was able to take smokes from Vent and the others, but now we're seeing Ineri just creating pressure towards Vent, and beautiful peek there to get as well. Ayumi takes one, Alexi for the trade. Iceberg takes up 3, and Navsky is also there to get a kill of her own. And it's as if Alter Ego Celeste has somehow, identified the pattern on how Bren Victress is going to attempt and take control of the site.
So here you can see just a little pause coming in from Bren. They want to try and realign because this is getting a little bit too far. 5-0, not a good position to be in. That can obviously be reversed. You could be looking at the 5-7 if Bren can find their footing, but so far it's been a bit of a struggle. Alter Ego Celeste, they've been looking so confident on their retakes. They just seem to think to themselves, yeah, we've got no problem. We can retake this. And look at the scores in respective as well. 7-6-5-4-3 in terms of kills. It just goes to show they are riding momentum off of the right players, and they are being consistent, keeping themselves within 4 kills of each other. And Iceberg, 5 assists up to this point, responsible for 10 kills so far. Everyone is starting to pop off. And Neri, surprisingly, down the second bottom fragger, but doesn't have to be the top fragger, and Neri just has to do her role. And she does shine a lot more on the attacking side. And Neri, for now, she's just chilling. She's just vibing. She's just doing her thing here on the defense and doing her best to try and defend once those pushes come into play.
Indeed. And again, Neri, just because she's a duelist here, she doesn't necessarily have to be in the top of the scoreboards all the time, so long as she is able to do her job, either of being able to give control for the team, flanking for the team, or just simply, giving information as well, despite, being the duelist as well. So right now, so far, Bren will be having another attempt right here in towards the Ramps Heaven of a site, making a lot of sprays, going down. Mikasa goes through by Ineri, and that's where we want to make it at 3. Is it going to be 4? Is it going to be an ace right now? Goes down with beautiful paranoia to support it, and the 6-0 comes again here. It's almost the first half being done, Jaeger, and I don't know what Bren Victress has to do, to say the least. What do you think?
No, trying to turn this around. I was like, I love the fact that I just talked about Ineri not having to be the one to frag out. Jumps into top frag immediately, doesn't she? Of course she does.
I mean,
just Ineri things.
It,
Nah, she's listening.
She's listening. She's listening. She knows. She knows
but
what you want.
It's a strange idea coming in from Bren Victress, jumping into vents like that. One single flash could have secured them that, and there is a bit of a difference between these two teams when it comes to how they use their utility to make that space. So yeah, just a little bit of adjustments are required to be made here from Bren Victress, but Alter Ego Celeste, they've already assured themselves, yeah, we can go into the second half without having to worry about being at the disadvantage. they've already found themselves that halfway mark. So lockdown coming in, they are going to try and get out of it, but this is another problem, right? Bren, they are not great against Alter Ego's retakes. So unless something happens here, perhaps a spray down going through that smoke that secures a couple of kills, they may find themselves in the same position they were the last time we saw a retake in the side.
Alexi with a smoke kill here, denying an area of entry as well. This is going to be a lockdown. Lockdown forces out the members of Bren Esports out of the site. But again, here, nice attempt from Mikasi, but Nabsky still gets the kill regardless. Beautiful flash in here. That's going to be the Rolling Thunder from Iceberg. Will be setting down Tarazi from behind, and only members here remain. Not sure if I was able to see from the corner here. Oriophilia will be taking two and spots out Mikasi from Heavens. It's going to be a half defuse side. Spots out the gun, and for the third, Oriophilia cleans it up for the crew. 7-0 now. This isn't looking good for the Victress.
That is a very bitter pill to swallow for Bren there. The fact that they are starting to realize, you know what, we are suffering on these retakes. All of those ults just to get back in. That may have been a different story without the lockdown, without the Rolling Thunder. But they had them available, and Bren used their own ults just to take the site as well. So now, force buying into this round, looks like they've lost patience. They don't want to save anymore. It's going to be 3 rifles, 1 Bulldog, 1 Spectre.
Which may also leave an impact here for the next round. This is quite the risky buy for the side of Bren Victress here. Going back just earlier in towards Inari's ace there, the vents type of play from Bren Esports could have worked if they do have the better weaponry, in my opinion, and of course the fact that they were able to at least go down there or get that utility, as you mentioned. Inari, however, will be spotting out Twirly in towards B main here, and takes her down. Manpower into the sides of Alter Ego. Celeste spots out a crouching Mikasi from the top, make it another as Nabsky was able to isolate the fights before she's shut down by Shirazi. Oriophilia with the trade, taking Zinni from a lobby. Gets out that Molly in towards screens to delay the potential retake or the positioning from Alter Ego Celeste. 3v1. Shirazi has to make the dream, but not enough as Inari already spots her down from sight, getting their 8th point. This is looking good for Celeste, and Bren has yet to get their points.
8-0. I was hoping this was gonna be a close fight, but once again, you know, you call out a potential scoreline or a potential way a game is gonna go, and the opposite's gonna happen every single time. Nabsky, what a solid defense, and it's just so consistent right now from Alter Ego. It looks like they're making up for lost time. It's almost like they wanted to go through the lower bracket finals just to get to this point.
Truly. And so far, really, Alter Ego Celeste is sitting quite prettily here, and it's almost the end of the half. And just like that, Bren will try another attempt in towards mid, this time trying to get it a bit quietly, maybe trying to take, one in here without the usage of utilities. But then again, as I say it, they are gonna use it right now. Boonbot here, and Neri will be in a sticky situation, but was able to jump out of her demise. Still, they don't know what type of gun Inari has here, so there is still that factor. Uses the paint shells once more to shove them, but look at the spots for the side of Alter Ego Celeste. They have the capability now to sandwich them. Speaking of, that's going to be the flash. A bit of a taken down there off guard. Iceberg takes one. Not going to be another here, but a Yumi will compensate for that as she gets two. But while the members of Bren are distracted towards Ayumi's presence back there. So it's only up to Twirly with 45 HP and the Dream, taking it into a potential 3v1 clutch. But it is quite difficult because the double peaks are here, but no, it doesn't need to be, as Nabsky already pre-aimed towards the head in Garage, takes their 9th point.
And as every point goes by, Bren looking more and more desperate. They will have the full buy going into this round. I mean, they're at max. They've been at max loss bonus for quite a while now, and they have the orbital strike and the KO ult available here as well, so they can stop a lot of that utility, especially coming in from the Killjoy from working out and going towards the A side. Probably the best course of action here.
I mean, this is where they're going to really go and stick their guns. Not looking at the corner. Hinowski takes one. Alexi for the trade, however, but in towards the side. They don't see the presence here as Oreophilia is just taking that distraction, but Ayumi and Ineri did the cleanup. And just like that, it's as if Alter Ego Celeste just knows the timing when to corner out the members. Just looking at the quick replay here and the position, Navsky takes one, Alexi for the trade, but it is enough to divert their attention elsewhere as Ineri and the crew was able to get the kills from Heaven and screens, and Ayumi to just clean it up as well. And Alter Ego Celeste, it's as if that they are on a different league here.
How do they close down this gap? I mean, from what I'm seeing, they're not doing anything particularly wrong. And Neri, what a guess to that positioning there from Alexi. But Zinni and Shirazi both securing kills, perhaps a way in, but a spray down are going to find one. And Navsky just has to back away there. But 3 versus 3 now. Weapons retrieved for Twirly. Ayumi, this position is dirty. A spray down is going to connect. Looking for the second as well. Ayumi should be alive. Zinni finally catching, and oh, ready an ult there to try and res, but Zinni going around the corner knows just how dangerous it would have been if she'd been in that position and went for that res. So good awareness there. The timing, unfortunately, though, not going to be in her favor. Nabsky is going to be finding Zinni. That's going to be the 11th point for Alter Ego Celeste. Bren, Victress, this is their first time really playing at this high pressure, at this level, with this amount of difference between a team. This is going to be a humbling experience for them.
Truly. Again, you did say these cheeky positions for the side of Alter Ego Celeste is enough to really, divert the attention and their crosshairs of Bren Victress here. And just in that last moments of the previous round, it has been a very wise decision for Oreophilia to really swag out that knife to suppress just to get her presence, and it forces Zinni out of that box for Nabsky to just go on for the kill. So that certain discipline and synergy from Celeste is really showing here in towards our split, and it's not really looking good for Bren because again, in towards the defender side of Celeste and their attacker side, they have not yet got a single point into their name, and this is quite difficult as you go in towards the second half, because Celeste has positioned themselves in a quite lax manner wherein they have the capability to lose rounds. As I see here, again, there is a certain amount of presence that Bren is trying to really lean onto towards mid. Then again, that's going to be the lockdown from Twirly in towards A site, but look at the quick entry point from there. Takes that off shot here. That's going to be orbital strike. Is someone going to survive? Yes, they will still, but only by half HP for Ayumi. They're now looking at the corners. They're being careful. They're trying to enter the site with as much caution as possible, but Ineri still catches Mikasi off guard the moment that smoke dissipates. And right now, screen is walled here, post-plant situations. This is the moment for Bren to actually give or to get that point away from Celeste. But look at that, Ayumi with the op kill takes Shirazi down too early for the trade. Not sure if they're seeing another one. Beautiful tap, but Iceberg gets one down, and all of those trades, Celeste still gets that retake.
Right there.
12-0 for the first half. Not the probably not the scoreline Bren were looking to get here. And Alter Ego Celeste, they look reinvigorated. They're so on top of things.
Very much as well as you said it, Jaeger. And again, this isn't the usual thing, or this isn't the usual scene that we've been witnessing for quite a while, because we kind of expect a little bit of a more closer fight here for both sides of the team, specifically for Bren, since it's seen on the stats that they have a very much good profile here for Split. Hence, this is the reason why they chose this map in the first place. But right now, Alter Ego Celeste, I feel like there is this certain amount of strategies that they have prepared for Bren Victress, and it's really shown here. The fact that they were able to fully dominate the first half, it really positioned Bren Victress quite pinned down here, and to a point where in the pistol round is already crucial, but it just doubled here because of the scoreline that we currently have right now. So again, stakes are quite high for both, but it just made it even higher for the side of Victress.
Yeah, like at this point, it's as much damage control as they can possibly do. It's more of trying to make the, just trying to make the competition a little bit closer. Get that score close to like a 12-6, 12-7. If you can get to that point, at least the loss would feel a lot less harsh, because a 13-0, which is definitely possible right now, is a difficult thing to recover from, especially as you're moving into bind as well. If you don't have the motivation going into it, it can be, very morally crushing. So hopefully we see something from Bren. We wanted to see a closer competition, but Alter Ego said no. You get the biggest difference that we can possibly make, and they've made the maximum score difference available right now. So we'll have to see, jumping into this second half, how they do. If Alter Ego take this pistol round, we're going into map number 2. But if Bren can get something going here, perhaps we see a reverse situation. Perhaps we see a potential comeback, because all you can really do is take it one round at a time. That's all you really can ask for when it comes to each of these rounds, because it's a last ditch effort. You might as well go for the best plays you can go for. And Zinni, Alexi, Twirly, Shirazi, Mikasi, they've bought up. They've got their ghosts. They've got their armor ready to go. And for the side of Alter Ego, it's going to be nearly the same situation, but they are lacking 3 sets of armor. They've prioritized their utility.
I can't really blame Alter Ego Celeste here for having this dominating of a fight right here, simply because, again, they have been known to be the ones, wading in towards the grand finals, and I feel like their loss, at least for a series against X10, made it their wake up call, or made it into a point wherein they have to, uh they want to have that potential rematch again. So, but going back right here in towards this fight, before that potential rematch can actually happen, they have to really face Bren here. So I feel like they really took their time into really analyzing into how Bren Victress tries to really take the map as such as Split. So right now, again, in terms of their buy, quite understandable for Bren, because again, every single round matters at this point for the Victress. And because they are on the defender side, again, as long as the spike isn't planted, they do have the luxury to wait. But Ayumi says no. The moment I see you go above and beyond vents is the time I will get to kill you. And that's basically what she did. 75 HP still on her name, but not gonna be much. But look at this, a little bit of a whiff there, but Zinni was able to get that right click happening. Twirly with a 1, make it another here as she secures 2 away from the side of Celeste. Now 2v4, looking pretty good for the side of Bren, at least in terms of manpower.
That spike has the potential to go down. Nabsky has the potential to nab a few kills here as well. Let's see, because jumping around the corner, oh dear, position revealed. That spike has to be going down in just a moment. And clearing this corner, found the first kill, but turning around, Twirly is still in action. Down goes the spike, and spray down coming in with the frenzy, and that is going to be the 12-1. Bren won't be going down without a point.
And without a fight as well, because again, we have been emphasizing it in towards this second half. It's going to be a higher stakes and higher pressure for Bren Victress, to say the least. So right now, just at least for the side of Bren, they will be not taking this game one away with no points at all. So that is a huge deal, and probably a bit of a morale boost, to say the least, that that spark, that they have the capability to at least get another point away from Celeste coming into round 2 of the second half.
Upgrading immediately to as many of the Spectres and Bulldogs as possible. Full utility as well. And Alter Ego, they invest a little bit. We do have the one Sheriff in hand, the Shorty in the hands of Ayumi. That is positioned where?
Ooh.
Well, it doesn't matter. To be taken down by Zinni. That was in mid.
Truly, but I'm liking this wall coming in from Zinni right here. It really isolates your fight. So that's going to be one from Zinni. Not going to be another as Inari takes a Sheriff kill, but Mikasi is also there for the refrag. Spots out Natsuki as well for her second kill here. And look at this, no hesitations for Mikasi as she gets that one down. But with the help of Alexi, is able to really get that double peak going for Bren. Again, they were able to get the second point, but now with Alter Ego Celeste having these rifles, having these guns for the third round of the second half, do you think are we to expect here, Jaeger?
Well, I don't know how long this can be kept up for, because now Alter Ego have the weapons they need, and they're going up against a bonus round from Bren, who don't actually upgrade their weapons like they should be doing considering the scoreline. Twirly has been stunned inside of the site and dashing straight in, and Neri right up top will be taking down Twirly. They already have control of the A site. No one else close enough to defend.
Indeed, and look at this, the rush to really rotate from a site, but again, it's already too late since the post-plant situations from Alter Ego is already set and ready to go, alongside with the utilities as well. That's going to be a paranoia here, forces to go in towards this corner for Shirazi. They're quite in a sticky situation right here, Jaeger, as we do see some spray downs, but Alexi was able to get Oriophilia still in the process. Let's see, goes to APAC, gets that satchel going. Shirazi will take Iceberg down, and of course, beautiful utility from Mikasi as well. That's going to be a trade here, but then again, a 1v2 fight all to Ayumi, but Ayumi will be flashed, and Alexi and Mikasi go for the double peak, and still prolonging this side.
Attackers win.
13-2, the final score between these two teams, and well played there by Alter Ego Celeste. Just a very dominant game coming in from them. Bren really didn't get the opportunity they were looking for, I don't think, and well, all they can really hope for is to do better once we jump into Bind. That is going to be our next map coming up, but Alter Ego Celeste, an absolute masterclass of a game, so in charge of every situation, they kept putting their players in the correct positions for every single push. And even when they weren't in the right positions, sometimes you'd have a single player down vents. That was their only defense. That was sometimes all they needed, because they do have the star player coming in from their team as well. Inari, Ayumi. We saw a couple of different plays coming in, a couple of different styles and agents being picked up here, and it worked out gorgeously. It could have been a clean 13-0, but the pistol rounds sometimes can be hard to play around. And here you can just see Inari back on top, 18 kills, 2.2 KD, a 348 combat score. A huge difference from the top frag on the other side, 9 kills for Twirly, who managed to get, well, most of those kills during the second half when it came to the pistol round. So a bit of a difference here between these two teams. Bren, they're going to be trying to reflect on this as much as possible, I think. And, well, we'll have to see, because it's hard to make differences, hard to make those changes on the fly. Jumping into the next map, you can't just be a completely different team. So Bren, they'll be able to use this loss in on another date, but for now, all Bren can do is try and damage limitation against Alter Ego Celeste, but it's still up in the air. It's going to be a very difficult game going on to Bind.
Indeed. And again, this is sometimes what I say wherein sometimes I don't know who's who in terms of attacking and defending sides because of the performances that both of our teams are showing, and for the fact that Alter Ego Celeste is still able to not just get their kills, to not just win their duels and the usage of their utility, but the fact that they also have the time to play for time is something that you have to consider as well. See, I got a little confuzzled from earlier as well into that last fight. Hoping for Bren Victress to try and prolong the fight, but then again, time it was ticking at that point, and 13 to 2, not your best type of score line here, and also it has been a bummer as well since the fact that it was initially a Bren map pick, and Alter Ego Celeste was able to really strive or thrive from that in a dominating course, or in a dominating situation. Let's look at the highlights right here real quick. Mostly coming in from Alter Ego Celeste, being aggressive regardless of the size that they have, completely dominating the first half of the fight. And for here we do see Aneri getting that quick ace, which you have mentioned could have been a different scenario if they were to place a flash coming through. Nabsky as well being popping off for the team, as she is able to isolate the fights by using the terrains and her utilities as well. There are some moments wherein Bren Victress was able to get their own highlights, but then again did not reflect through a successful post-plan situation. So there were close calls, but then again, unfortunate events were to happen. And here, seeing how they were able to really get that tap, really able to get those sprays, but Alter Ego Celeste was still able to push through.
And so there you have it. That was our first map of the day. That was Bren versus Alter Ego. We'll be going into the second map and back onto Bind, where it will be Alter Ego's map pick. And so, again, it's not looking great right now for Bren. If they can turn things around, I would be thoroughly impressed. But really, when it comes down to experience, Alter Ego have them beat in that department. So you may see a stronger Bren come back next time. But for now, it is Alter Ego. So, ladies and gentlemen, please don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back for the second map, and it will be between Alter Ego, it will be between Bren, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Valorant Game Changers APAC Series Open 3, and we'll be your casters for this lower bracket finals. My name is Saya, and with me is Jaeger. So earlier, you guys seen a very dominating performance coming in from Alter Ego Celeste, and of course, again, that is basically going to, wake up not just us but also the world that Alter Ego Celeste is still there in towards our boards. But then again, them taking away the map pick, supposedly coming in from Bren Victress of game number one. This time, they are going to play it out in towards the very one of the most comfortable map of Alter Ego Celeste, which is basically Bind. And again, just a quick recap from the previous game from earlier. This is also one of the reasons why you don't really give that raise to Inari and, of course, the gang. You did see earlier from the ACS that Inari's score is very much far from the rest of the team. And here again, we're going to see the map veto pick, respectively, getting that bind pick from Alter Ego Celeste. And if I'm not mistaken, Celeste is also going to start as the defender side. So, Jaeger, what do you think is going to happen here? Because stakes are quite higher for the side of Bren Victress.
Well, we saw some signs of life coming in from Bren towards the end of the first game, but really it only came off the back of a pistol round. So it's not the most reliable stat to look at, you know? You can't really base anything off of that. So I'm not entirely sure what to expect from Bren on this particular map. Alter Ego, though, you can expect them to be a lot more confident as well. After that first victory, not only do you have momentum, you now got the confidence. Now you're going into your map pick. Everything is here for Alter Ego Celeste. So really, all of the pressure, all of the misfortune, and those feelings of, I'd say, maybe not feeling at your most confident, probably would be going towards Bren Victress right now, because this really has been stacked up against them. And so, absolutely, don't give up. These girls definitely have the opportunity, but also Ego Celeste are an entirely different game to play.
Indeed, I agree with you on that. And of course, this is again Alter Ego Celeste playing their cards right, putting them in this position, not just having their morale boost and of course that dominance from game number one, but the fact that they are, everything, all of the aspects are leaning basically towards them. Now, Bren Esports Victress has to find the certain amount of kryptonite here that they can use to fight off against Alter Ego Celeste. And just for a quick note here, as we head on to the agent select, it's going to be Ali to sub for Twirly this time around, again using that Viper. So this is going to be interesting for whatever tactics or strategies that Bren has to do. They have to dish it out right now because again, Alter Ego Celeste were unbeatable for a reason, and it's still in top of our leaderboards from then till now, and it is still showing. And the fact that Alter Ego Celeste is really here, hungry to really go in towards the grand finals as well. This is going to be a fight with a lot more stakes and of course pressure, not just for both sides, but then again, at least into game number two, Bren Victress really has to dish out every single bits or tricky shots that they have.
And so let's see if they have anything up their sleeves that can give them back the momentum they've been looking for, because it's just not been the best opportunity so far. And well, if you're gonna get started, it may be a little bit late, but getting started now better than getting started later. Let's see if they have it, if they have anything here left to work with, anything left that they can build on.
Indeed. And just looking at how their weaponry is at, seeing two ghosts and two half armors for the side of Alter Ego Celeste respectively. For the side of Bren, we do have one frenzy, one ghosts, two, and as well as two half armors equipped for them. Bren Victress will be starting off as attackers once again, and seeing it here, because of the momentum that Alter Ego Celeste was able to build up from game number one, pretty sure that's going to reflect back there. And for Bren Victress, this is their opportunity to reset everything for their side just so that they can get as much points as possible. But then, at least when I look at the team stats for the side of Alter Ego Celeste, they haven't they've only had lost one bind map, and their win rate and their percentage is quite high, and their defending side above average. Their attacker side, however, is going to be far beyond. So I do feel like Bren Victress has to basically do whatever they can to get as much points as possible in towards their attacker side, because again, Alter Ego Celeste, if they have the capability to be given momentum and the aggression towards the attacker side, they will thrive from that, and they will not hesitate to to quote unquote use violence in terms of the way that they play, because we've managed to witness it from Split that regardless of their sides, if they can really sandwich out the opposing team, they will do so. And I like it as well how Celeste doesn't really hesitate in terms of dishing out their utilities if it's mainly for the reason of them isolating fights or giving them a taps on the head. And speaking of that, Aneri will be starting it off, shutting down Mikasi, who is now the Sova for Bren Victress.
And that is a nice little start coming in for the side of Alter Ego, just adding a little bit more to their kill counter so far. Namsky takes a couple more shots than probably would have preferred, but still managed to secure another kill. That is already the second kill before that spike has gone down.
But look at the beautiful smoke kill from Ayumi as well here towards Garden. Spots out one, but then still is able to win that fight here, and that is gonna be a flawless from Alter Ego Celeste in this pistol round. Bren Esports though does have the capability to bounce back as well, but I feel like it's going to be on the third round, because on the second round Alter Ego Celeste is going to be equipped with weaponry.
My goodness, this has not been a good start, and again, just adding to their misfortune so far.
Indeed.
So now we have just I mean, I don't understand going for the shorty when you're on the attacker side. Ariophilia will be finding a kill with a molly, pushing it up to that molly. Aneri and Ariophilia, there's already been 3 utility kills, and Aneri has cleaned up. That is just utility base alone. Alter Ego, they know where to put it.
It's as if they do know the timing on how Bren is going to attempt, a cubby push in as well. Look at that. Oriofield was able to get that molly down. Aneri for the paint shells. Iceberg for that shock dart kill, and the rest was aim duels. And the fact that they were able to just basically eradicate the Victress off the map in here, that's quite a difficult situation. But right now in here towards the round 3, they have to be very much cautious on how they're going to take the maps here. It's as if I feel a certain amount of disconnect from Bren Victress, because their pushes are quite what do you call this? Predictable, to say the least, or they're quite vulnerable whenever they try and take a hold of the site. So right now here in towards the third round, we do see a little bit of a tone down coming in from Bren Victress. Earlier, it was very, very much rushed, in which Alter Ego Celeste was able to take advantage of. But right now, I feel like they're trying to get that Peaker's advantage. They're trying to force out the utilities from Celeste. Then again, Jaeger the utility usage of Celeste, they don't hesitate. And look at that, the attempt of Alexi entering the site, but still Navsky wins the fight, and the rest of the crew just clean it up for them, all leaving Ali alone here. Takes one. Is she gonna take another here though? Because look at this, they have the luxury to just jiggle peek and double peek from 2 and beyond. Was able to get a bit of that help, make it a double, not gonna be a triple as Inari goes for that double peek, getting their 3rd point.
We're getting another, I mean, just a little bit worrying for the Bren girls, because they really aren't putting up these stats here. They're looking so outclassed.
Truly. And it's as if like I feel like the game number 1 from earlier, I feel like it quite took a toll on the Victress side here, because right now I feel like they are in a blurry place on how they are able to really win this fight. Again, we've mentioned it time and time again that the odds and the conditions are quite placed very well in Celeste's favor. So right now, again, the recon bot was able to detect members. Boombot not enough, but Inari will be taking that kill from Cubby. Ayumi and the gang is also just, you know, getting all these heads down, not giving a moment for Victress to breathe. And this is quite difficult because Bren Victress, again, if this is going to keep going for the rest of the rounds, it's going to be quite similar for game 1.
Standing ahead.
I mean, we're already approaching that scenario. Zinni, Ali. I mean, all they can hope for really is some exit frags here, perhaps a little bit extra. Inari's already there on the flank, catching out Zinni, and a 4-0 Alter Ego Celeste. Continuing on with their domination. So far, they've won 17 of the last 19 rounds.
This is really quite difficult for the side of Victress at this point, and the fact that Alter Ego Celeste has been getting kills utility wise is something not much of, you know, morale boost for Bren Victress as well, because they know that the misposition and the timings are quite evident for them. Look at this, just a very near you know, operator for a Yumi here, getting all those quick peeks, but then again with a little bit of a mishap, Zinni was able to take a Yumi down. This could be an opportunity for Bren Victress to really go beyond. That's gonna be the satchel in, going in from above, but there's gonna be the refrag for Inari here, but Orpheus still lives to that day. Hunter's Fury will be placed, not gonna take one down here, but it's enough for the showstopper to really get that show going, taking Ayumi down. Oh, actually, another member of Bren down. Mikasi takes one. Inari for the trade with the 3rd kill. Ali being the only member alive, and Inari just is angry, getting that 4K. Being very much careful here, at least for the side of Alter Ego Celeste, but I feel like careful is not the words, more like really a top aggression for themselves. It's as if they're the attackers here, really dictating the pace for the side of Bren Victress, who's supposed to be the ones creating the momentum, since they are the ones in the attacker's side. Unfortunately, however, this is not the case. Again, Alter Ego Celeste, it's as if they're playing in a very comfortable turf that they are in here, and Bren still not being able to be given that space to at least get that spike down.
The dash has run out here for Ayumi, so no going back. Ayumi pushing all the way out to find that kill onto Ali, and then backing away. And I mean, it's just happening too often. Why is there no trades? Why aren't we seeing any utility being put up just to make sure that no one's pushing forward? There's no way for them to have sentinels to watch for those pushes. There's a lot of scenarios here that could be avoided or that could be traded back, but we're not seeing that happen. There's a lot of solo plays happening right now for Bren.
Indeed, again, there's a certain amount of disconnect that's happening. Ooh, a little bit of a miss from Iceberg, from Zinni there. Make it a double for Iceberg instead. Really holding that positions in a good way. Plus, with the patience that's going on with Alter Ego Celeste. Orpheal takes one. Alexi will be taking a sheriff kill though in a trade. That's gonna be the pain shells, and Neri was able to reposition herself in time before being taken down by Alexi. Then again, though, we do see a Neri here cleaning it up for the crew because she was able to go around lamps in the process and spots out Alexi.
A headshot to start things off from Ayumi. But yeah, I mean, just again and again and again, just getting outclassed here. And Neri always coming out on the flank because she just doesn't want to sit still. She just want to take as many of those fights as she can because, well, doesn't want to see her teammates getting all these kills. Up to 12 kills now in Neri. Combination of Ayumi and Iceberg's kills at the moment. And, well, more kills for Neri than the entire team of Bren combined.
Looking at this though, again, Yumi very much aggressive in here towards Cubby. No hesitations asked. Now Bren Victress is attempting a shower take or a bath take here, fully stacking this one. Again, this also leaves them into a position where they have the capability to be sandwiched, and Ayumi already pre-aimed in towards a potential exit way here. Let's see how this is going to go. Ayumi will be taking 2 beautiful collateral back there with the operator. Not necessarily the best scenario for the side of Bren Victress here. We've been seeing it through and through. Zinni is able to get a res here. And right now, Viper Spit, they are going to try to attempt taking A site once more. Alexi takes Oreophilia down, places herself in the corner, denies that recon, but places the wall. This is going to be the spike plan, uses the showstopper to go in towards that feed. Is able to take a UV down from Lamps as well. Look at all of these utilities placed here. Now it is a full-on retake for the side of Celeste. Was able to spot out that gunshots, but Shirazi is there to cover the crew. 2v4. It is a favorable position for Bren Victress at the moment. This should be a very nice post-plan situation for them right now.
Spraying into as many corners as they can. This is a difficult scenario now for Alter Ego. The first time we've actually seen them on the ropes. Iceberg tries to run in. Alexi is going to shut her down, and that is finally going to be Bren getting their first point on the board.
Again, at least this isn't similar to game number 1, wherein the scores are really far too off. But I feel like in here, for the side of Bren Victress, they were able to really utilize their ults and their skills properly, and they were able to really play around the Viper Spit. It just what concerns me, however, is do they still really have to wait for Ali's Viper Spit or their own ult just so that they can get rounds? Because if that is going to be the case, there are still some rounds to be given away from Alter Ego Celeste, and Celeste here, because they do have this huge of a score gap, they have the capability to just, be lax. And speaking of, Nabsky was able to play with a rendezvous, taking one down before teleporting her away to safety. And because of this, it's been really giving Bren a hard time to try and rotate, to try and play these diversion plays that they initially think.
I mean, you've hit the nail on the head there. Really, without ults available, they don't seem to be able to get into these sites. They don't seem to be able to get the spike down. Don't seem to be able to post-plant it. Ayumi catching the rotation there. That patience just to wait, looking from that position. And, of course, a re-peek from Zinni. Not a good idea when you're going up against an operator. Mikasi has opened up the B site, but what good is that when the spike has been dropped in front of A? And Neri already in a position just to pick up this rotate back coming in from Mikasi. And on a peak like that, going up against a Neri, it's another hard situation. So you are probably looking at the 7-1. Oh, Mikasi, maybe not. It is dependent. 16 seconds left, though. This is another hard time. And spotted Ayumi, triple kill. And that is going to be 6 points again in the lead.
I mean, this is very much looking good for Alter Ego Celeste right here. They were able to play their struts. And again, Ayumi with this beautiful operator place and information to boot. Not really giving a certain amount of space for the side of Bren. Although we're seeing Mikasa here with a triple or a 3K here, Ayumi once again is able to answer back with some kills of her own. And you have to take note that is an operator to boot. So normally, once you miss your shot, there is a certain amount of, a vulnerability. But then again, Ayumi is able to play around that. Plus the fact that the members of Alter Ego Celeste is always ready for the refrag. But look at this, Ayumi once again with the aggression, with the operator, takes two from B Hookah. And that's not all. Look at the other members now from Alter Ego Celeste in towards the minimap, already fully stacking B side. But Neri here not really neglecting the flanking capabilities that can come from Bren Victress. We're seeing now that Zinni tries to play her way towards cave, but up to what cost, up to what extent the time is taking. Bren Victress doesn't really have time to spare here at this point. Namski and Ayumi very much low on health. That's gonna be the spray, not going to take at least give Namski a time to retreat. But with 9 HP and a dream, let's see how this goes. But look at this, Alexi was able to take that wall bang, taking Nabsky down. This could be their opportunity, but as I said, Iceberg takes Mikasi down. Zinni and Alexi for the trade here respectively, and 2v2 for this 9th round here. Orbital strike to be used, will be shaking them off. Alexi for the third Orpheal with the trade as she takes Alexi with the orbital strike here, but Zinni is able to really pre-aim towards City, towards Elbow, getting their second point. However, Alter Ego Celeste here still does have the luxury to lose some amount of rounds because they have basically positioned themselves in a very good stature.
That was very well played by Alexi to manage to turn around and get that kill onto a Neri when she was trying to spray down the Sage there. If a Neri had secured the kill onto the Sage, that would have been another round for Alter Ego. But Bren starting to get a little bit of light shining through those cracks. But still not confirmed. Ayumi prepares that dash back just in case and manages to get away without taking any damage. But they are aware now that Ayumi is over in the B site. They have 3 players over towards the B site. This is another thing. Bren, their mid-round strat calls aren't great. They kind of commit to their ideas much too hard. We don't see any of the rotates happening quickly enough. There's an entire map for you to make use of. And instead of perhaps using the entire map to their advantage, maybe rotating through those portals, they are just staying in this B site for now. Not great. Alexi will find a kill with the paint shells. Iceberg finds one with the Hunter's Fury, but Navsky does get them back that advantage. Mikasi has just burned that entire ult without doing a lick of damage. Navsky, I think, may have spotted ahead there. Nice shot there from Zinni, but Navsky still doing all of the work. Nice shot, Zinni jumping out with the right click on the classic. And Ineri securing the final kill. Zinni goes down, and an 8th point on the board for Alter Ego Celeste.
Alter Ego Celeste creating a masterpiece right here as they're slowly starting to paint a potential sweep away from Bren Victress. But then again, Bren Victress still has, this remaining rounds of the half and the second half to at least try to change that said painting. Right now, though, we do see in this replay quite a bit of a fiasco happening, but still, Alter Ego Celeste was able to get the job done. We are now heading in towards the 11th round of our game, and here, Alter Ego Celeste is still dominating against Bren Victress. Bren Victress, what will you do here as you are starting to get a bit pinned down for the likes of Alter Ego Celeste? Look at this. Again, jumping jack to and fro in towards this operator shots. Both Nabsky and Ayumi that possess in towards the respective sites. And again, Blaze Storm will be hovered here by Ayumi. Will be taking one tap down, taking Ali away off the board. It's going to be another, making a triple for Ayumi. Beautifully done, beautifully executed as well. Zinni and the others are inside here. Zinni was able to get that frenzy kill or refill from behind, get Zinni down as well. This is going to be a sticky situation for Alexi as she gets tapped down, getting that 4K. Ayumi is on a roll.
Last round in the half.
Ayumi always one that you can rely on, but looking extra determined in this particular map. 4 kills with the Blade Storm. You only get a reset if you get the kills with the left click. The right click ends the ult immediately. Didn't use the right click once. Nothing but left clicks. Instant headshots every single time. Ayumi is looking so fired up, ready to pop off here on Bind. And the score is already 9-2. Bren are running out of chances. If they can get the 9-3, perhaps they can go for that comeback. But Alter Ego get that 10-2, and they get a pistol round. We're looking at Bren in a lot of trouble. This is their tournament lives on the line. And Navsky catching Mikasi, and Neri finding one as well. Never a wasted ult coming from Alter Ego.
Beautifully executed utilities and of course aim duels as well for the side of Alter Ego Celeste. Although we're seeing Bren giving at least a little bit of frags through and fro, the fact that Alter Ego Celeste has the capability to basically refrag for the team. Again, you mentioned that the utilities are not in vain for their sides, and right now we're seeing here it's as if Ayumi and Inari are like the peanut butter and jelly for the team, because they are able to really get their kills going. At the same time, information for the team. Nabsky, however, is like your sandwich here, simply because she is able to really take a hold of her site with less of a manpower, especially here in the likes of B. Look at this, already ready, pre-aimed in towards B long, will be taking one down. Zinni for the refrag, misses that slow orb here, potentially from B, but teleports anyway towards Showers. But already waiting here, Oreophilia secures the point.
Switching sides.
Will not kill my animal.
One enemy remaining.
And checking it out right here once more of the replay, we're seeing again Bren, Victress, and the gang quite really pinned down in towards a corner, not really finding that retaliation into which Alter Ego Celeste has been, really finding their ways to really divide and conquer the said Bind map. So right now, it's really getting a bit trickier by the rounds here for Bren and Victress, and I feel like they really need that some sort of aggression, because they are in the attacker side from earlier. But right now, since the first half is already done with a 10-2 scoreline, Alter Ego Celeste once again really places themselves in a more favorable situation for them, and the sweep and that potential rematch coming in from X10 is slowly coming in to picture. Bren Victress, however, Jaeger, what do you have to say? Because they really need that sort of miracle play so that they can, potentially get that rounds going.
I mean, getting off the pistol round, if they can get that pistol, they can get perhaps the 10-4. But really, there's a small fundamental problem which comes down to how they're playing as a team. This is something Alter Ego haven't really ever had to struggle with, because they've had that cohesion from the start. They play off each other really well, and because of that, they are able to go for those individual plays, because they know that if they are to lose a player, they can pretty much answer back with a player nearby. They're always trying to get into positions where there's crossfires. And now what you see from Bren, there's not a lot of trades. You don't see a lot of positions that get switched out, and those moving crossfires as they enter into the sites. They don't have that chemistry just yet. That can be remedied over time. The more they play for each other, the more they'll start covering each other. It's just a natural part of the game. But it's just the fact that Alter Ego have already got that experience together as a team, that they are able to do these things without having to think about it. So Bren, yeah, it's just a bit of a difference of experience, to be honest. And so what you can do to try and compensate for that, well, we've already seen them. They've had to rely on their ults to pick up rounds here and there. But trying to answer back, try and copy your opponents. Try and see what they're doing, and how in every situation there's always going to be that that position that can be traded, that kill that can be traded. They just have to start getting into the groove of doing it. Even if they're not going to win here today, they can at least start to learn things from this and start to apply it to their future games, because that is how you improve as a team. It's learning from your losses.
Indeed. And of course, again, Alter Ego Celeste is a very much difficult team to really face with. Alter Ego Celeste has been proving themselves time and time again with their prowess and the fact that they are able to really demonstrate pretty much the team, discipline and of course the team synergy. It's very much demonstrated here, and let's not go far behind. Game number one, they were able to dominate their own half. Game number two, this time they are still doing it. Bren Victress though was able to. The only difference is Bren was able to take 2 points away. So a little bit of pre-aimed here. Alexi is going to take one, but spots out a lot, and Inari will be taking that revenge as she takes 2 for the team. Plus Oreo Feel with the trade of her own. Chirazi will be pushing that Aka be taking Nabsky down. But on the flip side, we do see Oreophilia ready to re-rotate from B going into A, and I feel like that knife out, I feel like both
30
Shirazi
seconds
and
left.
Mikasi heard that. So right now, again, that smokes are already placed. They do know that it is going to be at A, and Neri here's pre-aimed to
enemy
protect
remaining.
her, and which is the case,
Spike
getting
planted.
that 3K. Shirazi, however, tries to conceal her location towards showers, but Oreophilia already there marching to greet her, takes their 11th point here.
And that is the worst case scenario for Bren Victress. They needed that pistol round just to get things started. And Alter Ego Celeste have pretty much confirmed themselves match point. Because you're going to be going to this next round with the upgraded weapons and all the momentum. Just everything going well here for Alter Ego. Bren Victress, you kind of have to feel for them because the opportunity, the chance for this to go 13-2 twice, there is definitely the opportunity for that to happen. Although Alexi may have something else to say, starting things off with a kill. So will Shirazi using the shorty. They have got themselves one woman advantage.
Indeed. So right now, this kind of made Alter Ego Celeste really fall back just a little bit, just so that they can get their footing once again. You did mention that this could be a secure for a match point, but right now, Alter Ego Celeste is basically fighting for that fact. So 3 versus 3, they were able to equalize the board this time around. Beautiful Molly coming from Oreophilia as well to deny entry from Shower. Let's see how things are going to come up here. I'm not sure if Alexi was able to see Oreophilia go in towards lamps. But then again, you do see here Ali being double peaked, to say the least. Forces her to go back. Alexi, however, will that share kill, takes Nabsky down. How is this going to be for Alter Ego Celeste? That's going to be a heal, to say the least. Plus a Spectre again. That's going to be a push, but will peak one or Phil takes one. Ali for the trade. 1v2 situation. Alexi securing their 3rd point here with a 3K. So as much as we did see earlier, as you mentioned, could be a potential match point. Bren was able to take that thrifty, but then again, Alter Ego Celeste has their way of bouncing back to a round.
That is well played. That does provide them at least the opportunity to start fighting back. They've already upped their score from the last game at the very least. And it does come down to Alexi getting that triple kill with the Sheriff. And that does reset Alter Ego for now as well. Bren, they've upgraded to a couple of those Phantoms. So they'll be happy to use those going into this next round.
Toxins going up.
And so Alter Ego, they're going to try and do as much damage as they can with the weapons they've picked up. A couple of Sheriffs, you know, good amount of utility as well. And plenty of money left over if they choose to use it. But Mikasi has already found the first kill.
Cassie already gets Iceberg down, but that Goomball will be taking Yumi will be taking Alexi down, but with the cost of Ali with that judge kill, taking it another Inari, however, will be retaliating with a Sheriff kill. Spike has been planted towards B side. 2v3. Let's see if Alter Ego Celeste has the capability to get this clutch, or would Bren Victress prolong this for another round? But then again, up to this point, we do see Orbital Strike into play. Mikasi takes one refill for the trade. Orbital Strike takes Zinni Shirazi to take it down to get their 4th point and still making this game alive. Alter Ego
It's good.
Celeste, though, quite understandable since they really don't have the guns for this round here, but coming in towards this one, the 16th one, let's see how things are gonna go. But here is the replay of the last
So well played. Well played there from both teams, to be honest. Alter Ego, despite only having pistols in that round, did a great amount of damage. Bren, they're realizing that if they want to have a chance, they need to get a lot more going for them. So they've picked up the operator already. They'll be using that over towards the A site. And that's in the hands of a Sage as well. They don't really have anyone with any fast escape moves except for Alexi. And I don't think Alexi really is in AWPer at the end of the day. So plenty of pressure over towards the B site. A split with all 5 players. And they're actually rotating everyone out of the A site. If Alter Ego were to teleport over right now, that A site would be empty. And actually, as I said, Zinni decided to go up into heaven instead of playing so close instead. And so they will still have coverage over on the A side. If they commit to this B side, well, it looks like they're going to be pushing in already. They've already got Jet coming in. Ayumi, who has been the absolute hero of the defender side. First in. Smokes have gone down. Player spotted. No, actually it wasn't player spotted. I thought they had someone crossing into Cubby there.
But then again,
Extra would have shown.
in towards these, they were Alter Ego is able to basically control the sites. Look at how they are able to deny vision against Bren Victress. Again, with that judge shot in hopes that someone pushes there. Ayumi, though, will be taking that first one, taking Alexi down. Hunter's Fury will be taking only one, but not a lot. And
left.
right now, the spike is going to be planted once again. They do know where their location is at. Shirazi will be taking Ayumi here in towards the can. That recon ball is so, I mean, that drone though is so useful. Zinni will be taking one as well. 3 versus 4, and the way 13 seconds before the spike has been planted, is going to be planted here for their side. Mikasi with that sprayed out from hook, it takes one. The spike is planted here, but the members of Bren is able to secure it in time due to that man advantage here, or woman advantage rather. Still really making every single round count. Alter Ego Celeste here again, because they placed their position into a scenario wherein they can lose their rounds, maybe to just try to get their footing. But I feel like for Alter Ego Celeste, they're waiting for this moment to get, you know, that match point.
11-5. This scoreline getting a lot more respectable from Bren. Still have a bit of a ways to go, but this defense is holding strong for now. And Alter Ego, they only have the pistols once more. They actually look like they did better with the pistols than they did in that last round.
Here.
And I think it's just because of how aggressive they were in that push. Ali, are you going to get a little bit too aggressive here? You do have the judge, you do have the potential for a one-shot kill. If it's a couple of headshots, you do have a good fire rate on that weapon as well. It's like a forgiving Guardian, but for close range.
Truly. And once again, the members of Alter Ego Celeste is going to go for that save, which is understandable because they would want better weaponry onto the next round. And look at this, how careful they are and how precise. But Ali, however, with that judge, again takes a 2K from Garden and as well with the Toxins to deny any more entry in here. Meanwhile, Mikasi really sitting in here towards Cubby so that she can also secure some amount of kills of her own, as well as Zinni with the operator not going to really get that headshot. Mikasi will be winning that fight against Nabsky. Ali, however, with a half health, to say the least, is going to be molly down, but does still survive with the little terrain that she is able to step onto. Then the judge here for the third. This is going to be the fourth. No, Oriophilia will be taking that kill instead. Shirazi, however, will be refragging for her team, getting that 6th point and slowly climbing up into the scoreline.
That position, the molly goes down, just doesn't touch Ali at all. And that has to be a little bit annoying for Alter Ego Celeste, but Bren, you love to see it. Slowly but surely closing down that gap. Now, Alter Ego, They're back on those Vandals. They're back in the position to attack. They do have 2 ults available as well. Although Navsky probably doesn't want to use her ult just yet.
Oh.
And switching over, out comes Ineri. Can't escape. Oh, actually does manage to escape the gravity pull there. Out comes the ult.
Oh!
Does connect with Alexi. Peek in towards the showers. Finds the kill onto Vikasi. Wants to peek over towards Zini, and will find the kill as well. Ineri, a triple kill to enter into the A site. And that is what they needed to find themselves match point.
Oh, beautiful snipe as well for Iner to get the 4th. I feel like she has a quota here getting these aces to and through and towards her tournament. But that was beautifully executed by Ineri. Once again, was able to get that Phantom Recon, but will detect Ali. Now all of Alter Ego Celeste knows where Ali is at. So looking at this, already pre-aimed in towards this entrance. Loving the push from Ineri for the ace. Beautiful done to get the match point going. And this is Alter Ego Celeste back in its form.
No scope as well, of course it is. That is devastating from Ineri. She's had enough of this game. She wants it done. She wants to be able to rest before the best of 5 she has coming up. So pulling out the ace here. That's a no scope as well.
So that is such, you know, beauty that really resides for Alter Ego Celeste and for that round for Ineri. And speaking of Ineri, once again with the pixel peak, is able to shut down Zini once again. And here we do see them going in towards B-Long, getting that drone. Not sure if Ali is seen, but that's going to be another judge kill for her, but will be shut down by Yuki Shorty. It's a battle of a shotgun, but right here, Ineri will be shutting down Shirazi in the process. Looking good for Alter Ego as they are trying to really drive here. Alexi for 1, Ineri for the 3. In from the behinds, already spots out Kasi to get that 4K, getting that 13-6. Beautiful sweep coming in from Alter Ego Celeste.
And there you have it. Well played there from Alter Ego Celeste, winning it out in the semi-finals for the best of 3, moving into our grand finals. X10 versus Alter Ego Celeste. That is the fight we have coming up. Commiserations to Bren. They came so far for their first tournament as this team. You know, that's a very strong showing. And as they had different players, you know, we're seeing them kind of again. We're seeing TC arise again, but under like a different guise with some of their players across other teams like Orangutan, but they did really well here to get to 3rd place.
Look at
Alter
Ineri.
Ego Celeste 5.0 KD for 29 kills. That means 29 kills and a 5.0 KD. That means for every 5 kills, she died once. So I don't even know what 29 divided by 5 is, but that is an amazing stat there from Ineri. 422 combat score, and both of the races were the MVPs here, but it was Alter Ego Celeste that got off on the right foot, started things running. Even Ayumi on 300 combat score. When you have a combined 700 combat score between your top 2, you have really no chance of winning. It's such a strong difference. Look at the damage difference, the headshot percentage, the frag wins. Objective wins did go to Bren. Of course, it does also depend on the fact that they started on the side that may be a little bit more difficult to deal with. But there you go, Alter Ego Celeste doing their absolute hardest, and I think they're going to be well prepared going up against X10 crit later on.
I mean, looking at the objectives right here, Alter Ego Celeste really gets 3 on the board, and the MVP of course goes to none other than Ineri, really getting those aces up and coming. ACS of 422, average kills of 29, and assists of 6. Look at that damage per round that she has, 261.8. That's really something. And you know, you basically know that Ineri's raise is a force to be reckoned with a KDA of 5.0. Imagine that. And she was able to really contribute into most of that kill participations there in towards the team as a general. But there you have it, our lower bracket finals really in the hands of Alter Ego Celeste, hungry for that rematch against X10 Crit. But still, kudos to Bren, Victress. You guys made it far off from last year up into now. You guys were able to get yourselves in towards the third play, I think third for the Open 3.
Quick highlights just to see how that game went down. Some amazing players coming out from Alter Ego, and of course we did get an ace coming in from Ineri as well. As I mean, so many iconic plays here. Ayumi, how consistent is that coming in from Ayumi? And you know, when you rewatch it, the hindsight, you can kind of think to yourself, well, there were ways to counter this. But hindsight is only in 2020, because what you're seeing right in front of you is pure chaos. And in that chaos, we've had Alter Ego thriving. Here is the ace I spoke of, Ineri, the 1, the 2, the 3, just to take down Showers, and then picking up the weapon she needed to finish off the final kills, considering the HP remaining. An ace from Ineri. So well played there.
I mean, that no scope really what relieves a smile on my face. Like, Ineri with her game sense is just in a whole new different level. And right now, later on, ladies, gents, we are going to witness again another rematch that, you know, really is one down for the history books once again. The grand finals for Open 3, X10 Crit Female versus Alter Ego Celeste. Will Alter Ego Celeste really take that crown to fully, or would X10 Crit be the first ones to dethrone our current queens? When we come back here only at Valorant Game Changers APAC Series Open 3, this is Saya, and with me is Jaeger. We'll be right back.